Alrighty, guys. Been a little while since I've been back in the garage here, but I finally got some work. This is a 2013 6.7. Guy's complaining he's got a squeal noise coming from somewhere in the engine. He thinks it's exhaust manifolds, so we're going to take a look at it. I'll show you what it's doing. It's only when you're really heavy on the gas initially, and then it stops. I'm starting to wonder if it's like turbo bearings. I'm not sure, but let's tear into it. Okay, here we are. A little update for you on the 6.7. I'm working on getting the plastic intake manifold off, and I encountered a hiccup. Fortunately, I got all the bolts out except for one. The head of this bolt broke off here, and I had to take the little cup out that holds the fuel filter out of the way so we can get on that stud with some vice grips. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't get in there. I got it soaking in some PB Blaster, but we're gonna get the plenum out of the way, and then we're gonna get the throttle body housing and all that stuff out of the way so we can check the turbo out. So I'm gonna get back working on this. Stay tuned. Come on. What do we got? It's still attached. Okay. Looks like our CCV hose. I'm going to pull that up a little bit higher. Okay. Oh, shit. Don't lose the bolts. Don't lose the bolts. All right. So I just got the little intake manifold off, and what did I find? Still mouse nest, nothing crazy. No big deal. We'll clean that out while we're in here. But anyway, looking at this turbo here, and I'm not sure if I like this. I mean, I know a lot of turbos are supposed to have shaft play, but you know, I can push this over to the point where the turbine is actually hitting the housing, and it won't rotate very easily. See that? I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't like it. What do you guys think? What are we thinking? Is it time for a turbo or what? This is the 11 to 14, so it's got the dual boost turbo. So you got an inlet here and an inlet here to combine to make two outlets. So, but these are pretty failure prone. They had some ceramic bearings, so. Alrighty, so I want to show you guys something what makes a 6.7 such a unique engine. Really no other V8 diesel is built like this, but it's kind of interesting. So on a traditional V8 diesel like 6.0, 6.4, 7.3, Duramax, whatever, you would have the exhaust manifolds on the outside of the head, and then you'd have big long up pipes that come up the back of the engine and go feed in the turbo, right? The 6.7 is different. The 6.7 uses reverse flow heads, right? So it puts the manifolds on the inside of the V-block, and the intake goes over the heads and swoops in from the outside. So it keeps the manifolds away from the elements, and it keeps the boost pressure really close to, like the drive pressure really close to the turbo. So you can see those up pipes there. This is the passenger side up pipe, and then the driver's side up pipes down there. So, but I just pulled this this back heat shield off here, and now I'm gonna get to digging and get this turbo out. So, but yeah, just want to show you guys that real quick. Thought it was cool. All right, y'all. That's what I'm all about here. These small little victories. I broke this bolt off on the intake manifold and ended up breaking it off more when I tried to get it out earlier. But I let it soak in PB Blaster for a couple days, and look at that. She's spinning. Not very much, but it is moving. So that's a good sign. I just sprayed more PB on it. I'm going to keep working it back and forth. Now that's what you like to see there. Broken bolt coming out a little bit at a time, nice and easy. Let's see, can I get it with my fingers now? Yeah. There we go. Any broken bolt that you don't have to drill out is always a good one. I'll chalk that up as a win in my book. Anyway, finally made some headway here. Got the turbo out. Let me tell you, that clamp down there That one right there for the driver's side up pipe, that is a freaking nightmare. I had to take the down pipe off. I didn't take it all the way out, just kind of moved it off to the side. There's a 10 mil bolt that you can see lands right there. You see that rust there? There's a 10 mil bolt that holds the Cobra pipe down. And then you just take your 2 bolts off your down pipe down with the rest of the exhaust system. Then you can get that out of the way pretty easily. So got that out of the way. Then I was able to get a 3-foot long pry bar in through the wheel well and whack that clamp with a hammer. Finally got it off. And yeah, anyway, we finally found our exhaust leak. Had 2 broken studs there, so that's cool. Love to see it. Gonna finish tearing it apart. Alrighty, would you look at that? 2 new Ford OEM exhaust manifolds, new hardware. Right in there, looking good. Got the new Garrett turbo all ready to go on. I got that on the tailgate, just installed the pedestal. I gotta put the heat shields back on here, and then we can drop that turbo down. Hoping the up pipe install goes a little bit better than the disassembly. That was a nightmare, but should be better now. You know, the reassembly is always a little bit easier than the tear down, so we're gonna get to it. Alrighty, time for my favorite part. I'm about to drop this brand new Garrett turbo in. Look at it all nice and shiny. Looks pretty good. Got the new pedestal, well, the old pedestal swapped over. Okay, got our heat shields back on our manifolds and our driver's side up pipe on. We got to put on loose, so we got to get the clamp lined up, and we can tighten down the studs in the back side of the engine. But once we get in there, we should be smooth sailing. This should come back together pretty quick. So let's see how it goes. Alrighty, so right here you can see I'm just kind of finagling the turbo in there, and it's not that bad. It's a little tricky. You gotta you gotta lift it up and twist it, and you'll definitely fight it at some points. I was hitting the VGT actuator, like the oil solenoid on the driver's side, but it's not too bad. You just gotta play with it for a little bit. I think I messed around with it for 3 minutes, and watch the gasket too, but it'll drop in. Cool. We'll take a look here. Alright, there's your turbo. Get you on normal zoom there. Turbo's in. Now comes the fun part. Trying to line up that freaking clamp. Oh boy. Alrighty, we're gonna get to it. Cool, got some good news. Driver's side up pipe is in, lined up. Actually goes in way easier than it comes apart, not gonna lie to you. But I got that in, now it's time to do the down pipe. Okay, so pretty happy with how things are going along. Just got all the up pipes buttoned up on the back of the engine. And not gonna lie, assembly was a lot easier than disassembly. So that's pretty cool. Down pipe was a little tricky to line up, but we got that all good. And all I gotta do now is go underneath and tighten up the down pipe and put this fender liner in. And then it's time to start buttoning things up under here. Gonna put the throttle body assembly on, then the plastic intake manifold, a couple other things, and we should be ready to fire up pretty soon. I'd say in the next couple hours, so stay tuned. Okay, as you can see, we're making pretty good progress now. Turbo's all in. I'm buttoning up little things. I replaced the crankcase breather filter, put the fuel filter back in, and buttoned up all the lines. Put the fuel pressure sensor back in, plugged in the turbo, got the coolant lines in here. Now we are ready to put the lower intake manifold on, then we're going to put the upper intake manifold on, change the oil, and this thing will be ready to fire. Alrighty, it's starting to look like an engine again. Got the lower intake on, all buttoned up, the hot side pipes on, coolant lines ran. I had a little problem with the exhaust back pressure sensor tube there. I thought I was going to have to get a new one, but I got lucky. I saved it. It ripped the threads off the old up pipe, but I managed to dig them out of there, straighten the fitting out, and I got it back on. So that was a victory there. But I'm going to go run up the Tractor Supply, grab some oil, coolant, some fluids, stuff like that. I'm going to get the upper intake on, and we are smooth sailing. Alrighty, got her all buttoned up back together. Time to fill it up with coolant and see if she'll start. Alright, got coolant down. Yep, gotta wait for the fuel system to prime again. We try and prime the oil system, just get oil up to that turbo. Alrighty, fuel system should be primed. Let's give it a shot. Awesome, that's what I'm talking about. She's alive. Sounds good too. Alrighty, we're gonna let her run, get up the temp, bleed the cooling system. We should be able to take her for a ride. Alrighty, got the truck all buttoned up, took it for a test drive, stopped at the car wash, wanted a power wash under the hood. You know, I think it's just a small gesture, but I think it's incredibly important, you know, when your customers can see what you've done, you know what I mean? I like leaving a good impression, so just the little things like this add up a lot. But look at that 6.7, all nice and happy. See that new turbo there? Yeah. Thing runs good, really happy with it. Gonna type up an estimate and give her back to the customer tomorrow morning. Sure, I'll be happy. Just wanted to show you all the finished product here. This thing runs sweet. Oop. Sounds really good. Look how clean that motor is. I think you guys are going to be really happy when he picks this thing up tomorrow. There you go. There's another one in the books. Until the next one. So I'm sitting here having a cigar, reflecting on my day, right? You know, just thinking about how the job went and all that. And pretty happy with how it turned out. And I look in my garage, right? And I see it's a disaster zone. And I shake my head, but I just want to show you guys a little behind the scenes here. It gets pretty messy sometimes. This is my disaster zone. It gets pretty jacked up, I'm not going to lie to you. I got junk laying all over the place. Really need to rip it apart and do good cleaning. There's my scrap pile over there. But, to fool you, you know? I mean, my garage might be a mess, but you see my work I do, and I'm really happy with how it turns out, you know? At the end of the day, like I said, we can clean the garage up, but the biggest thing that matters is I can look the customer in the eye, shake his hand, and say, you know what, that's going to be a good truck for you. You're going to run down the road. You're not going to have any problems. And hopefully they feel good enough about what I do that if they do have any more problems, they feel comfortable bringing back to me. And that's what we strive for. Just want to say, too, I'm really really happy I got to take this job on, this 6.7 here. My cat. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? Anyway, this is the first time I really got to tear into a 6.7, and I was a little nervous at first, not gonna lie. I've touched 6.0s and 6.4s and everything, and 6.7's a different animal, but that's kind of how it is with these Powerstrokes, you know. They look like a lot at first, you know, they look really complicated, but once you tear into them, you realize they're really not that bad, you know. Like, that's one thing I always liked about the 6.0s that scare a lot of people away, right? You open the hood up, you see all the plastic everywhere, and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to work on this. But then you realize, you know, you take a couple things out of the way, you get that plastic cowl piece off, the air intake, the degas bottle, fan shroud comes out really easy. And I mean, when you get good at them, I could take a turbo out of a 6.0 in 25 minutes. So, but yeah, if you're good at working on these things, people want to bring them to you. So that's what matters. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this truck turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. This is my second video I did, like doing this kind of work. The last one was the 5.3 AFM lifter replacement. But if there's any things I need to work on, anything like any feedback you guys have for me, I would love to hear it. But thanks again for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all have a wonderful night.